Life has started.
This game isn't fair. This game never lets me actually win.
Okay, it's okay. I'm back on the live, baby. All right, love you. Hello, good people. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I didn't tell you I was going to be back. And if you see me for your first time, I'm Gladys. I love cakes. And over here, I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. We were here earlier. Let me try and adjust this camera a little bit. Okay. We were here a little earlier. We made some buttercream. You want to go and check that. But we have this cake, a round cake, which I want to turn into an oval sized cake. Now that's a trend that is going on around a little bit, and it's a quick way to change the shape of your cake. And I thought, why not? This is a 2-layered banana cake filled with French buttercream. Rich, yum, nice. So let's jump into it. Now you think it's a round cake. Why are you turning it into oval? Because I want to, and because it's a trend, but I want to show you how I am going to do this. If you've seen it on the internet, there are so many ways people do it, but it's really the same thing. Some people tend to eyeball it. I have been a little bit cautious because this video is targeted at beginners. So if you're a complete beginner who hasn't made this before, maybe this is just a quick guide. You can freehand it, but I went along with some guides just to help you. First, you want to identify the middle of your cake. So you can do that by getting yourself a cake card like this, or even a greaseproof paper that is cut to the shape and size of the cake, and then poke a dot in the middle just so that you know the middle point. You can also do that with a pen or a marker of some sort, as long as it's not edible or does not affect the food. So when you identify the middle, over here, the middle of my cake is right there, which is fine. So for a beginner, you can then create a cross just so that you know the middle of the cake. And the whole idea is to take a section from the middle of the cake and then place it on the other side. You'll see what I will do with that. And the size you take from the inside just has to be sizable enough to be able to create the oval shape. So what I've done is I found the middle of the cake, and then I used the ruler to identify just a size enough here for me to get what I want to do. So if you look over the cake, I can't turn the cake to you because it will fall apart. But if you can see, I have 2 lines going on the other side. I tried to freehand it, and I don't have straight hands, people. I don't have straight hand. So there is a line which is almost the width of the ruler in the middle. And with that, I have myself a long knife. This is a long serrated knife. You can use a kitchen knife if that's what you have available. Now, if you're cutting into the cake, you want to make sure you have a very sturdy surface. So I'm taking the ring out of my turntable here, just so that my cake is steady. And this is a non-slip mat that I use for cakes. So you want to make sure your cake is centered and you're looking right. But because I have the marker, I'm just going to go straight and then cut through the cake, and then go to the other side and cut through the cake again. And with that, I have almost an exact cross section of the cake. Never mind the part that is lost. What you want to do is push the cake together, right? Make sure the cake is all together. And what I am going to do, don't worry, some people will put buttercream in the cake. The reason why I don't have buttercream is because it's a banana cake. It's already sweet. The person who the cake is for doesn't like too much sugar. So the buttercream is optional here. So don't worry too much about it. Now, if you see the cake breaking, oh, and by the way, the cake was frozen before I cut into it. Look at that cake. Look at that cake. I want to eat this cake so bad, but thankfully I will have some crumbs left. Now you want to go back and dip it into, right. I was going to freehand it again, but let's see. I'm just going to use a knife to freehand it again, and I'll see if it's the same size of the ruler, just so that I can get the width right. Okay, I didn't do so bad. I didn't do so bad. So you want to make sure that your blade is still warm and it can cut straight down the cake. Right. You move it. And then what I'm going to do is take this part and then insert it and then move the cakes back. And just like that, you can then go ahead and then trim the sides, and then you have an oval looking cake. But what I want to do is just apply a bit of buttercream there, and then I will let you see what the shape looks like when I am done. I know it doesn't look like it, and it looks like a basketball sort of theme, or like, is it a basketball or a, what is that ball? The rugby ball shape. That's what I'm looking at over here. But don't you worry, we'll get this all together. It's not a straightforward as the internet will have you believe, but hey. Right, let's go. Just gonna go apply some buttercream over here. Not a lot. The buttercream is just serving as glue to hold things together for me. You see what, if you were here, when I placed the cake, I didn't put any buttercream on the bottom. Okay, there you go. Now, yep. Now you can go to the top and clean it up a bit. And if you would like to fill the other side, because I froze the cake is so tender and soft. Oh, I want to eat this cake so bad. Now I'm having doubts about whether I wanted to give it. Okay, there you go. And then what I'm going to do is just spread the buttercream around and then let it go. Right. Yep, got my cake. Now I'm going to wash my hands. And then I'm going to get a different knife, and what that will do is just help me trim this out. Okay, and just like that, I've gone from a round cake to an oval. Yep, looking cake. Now I will, let me clear the bits here, and then I will show you what the shape looks like. It almost looks bigger than the round cake you were looking at, except it's still the same size, right? Okay. We are going to have to trim the skin down a bit. The reason being because I froze it, the skin is so, as in the crust is so tender, and if I don't trim it off, it will interfere with when I am applying buttercream on this cake. So I'm going to move the cake now, and I'm okay. Oh, so there's a whole chat happening and I missed it because I couldn't see my chat. Thank you, people. Thank you, everyone. Oh, Auntie Jackie's back. Auntie Jake, how are you? I couldn't see my chat. Anyway, there you go. Lollipop will know what this cake tastes like with the French buttercream. Jackie. Well, my people, I'm passing my apologies in advance, okay, people? The cake is so good. Even if I say so myself, except this time, this time I don't feel so bad saying that myself anyway. You know why? Because I know I've got Lollipop to back me up. I've got Lollipop. She will tell you. Because quite frankly, when I was sending the package out to Lollipop, right, I was thinking to myself, I wanted to actually make her a whole new batch. And I thought, that will not be honest. Because what is cake when she doesn't know it's the cake she saw me eat here? So I went and I rummaged. Did she manage to tell you exactly what she received? Well, she received the banana that we baked here because we baked this cake twice. We baked it in layer cake form. And then we came back and we made it into a bread, a loaf form. Same recipe, same details, just in different tins. So she received 2 of those, one with the sauce just as I ate it. I asked her to get ice cream, and like me, she didn't get the ice cream because I ate it and I was like, oh, I want some ice cream, and I didn't get the ice cream. So she didn't. And it's really not bad. It's neither here nor there. The ice cream just adds something because over Christmas, I made the same cake, but I added chocolate chips. And I shared it with family. And I went to see some family friends, and then we had dinner, and that was our dessert. And there are people who love cake, but they are very particular, like I am. And it was a hit with everybody. We had fun with it. And when I was going... My little guy is not happy because he's frustrated with his game. So hold space for me for a minute. Let me just go and see to him. Make sure he's fine. Yeah? Please bear with me. Sir? I know you're frustrated. Do you want a hug? Come on. Come. It's frustrating you, right? You're not winning. Is that all? No, come back.
No, it's not all. No, but it's starting.
Okay.
If I lose again, I'll get even harder.
Okay. I think if you lose again, take a break and come back to it later. What do you think?
Let me just get this.
Okay. All right. You're going to be all right, though. Hello?
Yes, I'll be all right.
Okay. Love you. So anyway, where did I leave off? When I went to see the family friends, because I thought there were kids as part of the group, and I thought sometimes kids start hit and miss with cake. So let me just take some ice cream, just in case the kids don't like the cake. They will have ice cream for the dessert. And boy, I went to my local Tesco, and Tesco had the it's the cart door, whatever it's called. It's a brand of ice cream, and this was the salted caramel, but it had the chunky bits in it. And when that hits the cake, slice of cake, I mean, it's a coffee cake, so we could have just eaten it, but for some reason we were like, let's have a bit of caramel ice cream on it. Woo. It was like heaven in a pot. You know how when it's hot, I'm like, oh God, I better be a good Christian. When I find good food, I know heaven will be good. That's all. The little guy just gets frustrated when he has this game he plays on a Friday. We don't do intense screen time on weekdays. Weekdays he's limited to a 40 minutes watch between the day. So 10 minutes here in the morning, 10 minutes at night, and 20 minutes somewhere late evening if you like. But on Friday he's allowed to play one of his favorite games, but the game is very tricky and it requires attention, and I made the mistake of asking him for help. Asked him to hold the camera whilst I took a shot of a photo, because I needed to use my hands as the as a modeling tool in there, and because of that he had to leave his game for a minute, and he went back and he lost, and that's the end of it. I won't hear the last of it, because he's like, if you hadn't asked me for help, I wouldn't have lost. Now this is me telling my son's business. He's not going to be happy with me. Okay, let me stop talking. Were we supposed to be making an oval cake? Yeah, there you are. So there you go. Right, so there you are. I am just trimming the crust off so that the buttercream will adhere to it. There you go. I am only trimming off the crusts. So I guess the way the cake presents, and by the way, talking about frozen cakes, which I touched on earlier in the video, some of the jars Lollipop received, one jar, one chocolate was frozen from November. If you've been here for a while, you remember the cake we made, the hexagon cake, and the scraps, the lots and lots of scraps we had. I froze them and used them for dessert for the church, but I saved a jar from that from those pots, and Lollipop received one, and this would have, by the time Lollipop received it, we were 6 weeks in. So it said for 6 weeks later, and Lollipop, she will tell you in her own words. So when we talk about frozen cakes, like I said, it's neither here nor there. It all depends on the environment within which the cakes are frozen or saved. And so, yeah, that's just a bit of information and social proof of concept, I would say. And you don't have to take my word for it. These are just the scraps. So we've got ourselves an oval looking cake. like I told you, we will be decorating this cake right here. So you will be first to see how this cake transforms. I'm kind of excited to see it. This is probably one of my very first attempts at a trendy sort of cake, because I am always behind the trends when they happen. I'm like, I don't want to be forced to kind of make a trendy cake just for the sake of, but I kind of fancy how these ones turn out when I've seen them on the internet. So it's like, okay, let's try it and see what it looks like. And I actually like the idea. It's not wasting cake. It's not doing something I don't enjoy doing. Because the thing with trendy cakes is that sometimes you don't even like the trend and you just want to do it for the views. But no, I actually do like this, because it's like, it's an easy way to change the shape of the cake without doing much. Okay, there you have it. It's like, so what was the point? Just so I can say I tried it. I guess that's the point of a trendy thing. Right, let's get this out. And then, okay. Okay, the secondary screen. Okay. 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 And so there goes our oval shaped cake. What do you think? Would you try it? Do you like the idea of it? We're going to just crumb coat this really quickly, and then we'll leave it as that. And then we'll be back perhaps tomorrow to kind of finish the details on it. You will see me. We're just going to crumb coat this quickly, just to seal in the crumbs for all. Okay. Okay, so you are seeing first use of the buttercream we made. Okay. Something I was supposed to have with me that I don't have. Can you tell what it is? Because you don't want to dip. Okay, let's get a portion of the buttercream. Okay. This is just the crumb coat. Okay, there you have it. Okay, there. So we went from a round to a very cleanly. I like the idea of this. What do you think? Okay, let's get some warm water. Okay, that's it. That's the crumb coat. Of course, after a crumb coat, you want to leave the cake to set completely before you do anything else. Dawn says I can't wait to see the finish. I hope so. Like I'm sort of excited though, in an interesting way, because I don't doubt my skill or anything, but buttercream cakes are not my forte. Because to be honest, I am in a rush to finish things when I am scraping and moving. So ganache tends to be a little more formidable in that venture. But with buttercream, everything has to be very slow and smooth. And yeah, when I'm a little bit like on the go and under pressure, I'm like, can we just be done already? And suddenly I'm like, okay, I like this. So this is just the crumb coat. If you're here, you will know that for the crumb coat or the lip of the cake, you want to kind of scrape that in. I am not fast about it, because if it chills, I can just take it off with a knife and then you get a clean edge. So there you have it. So that's the oval shape, crumb coated. Let's look at the shape again. And our buttercream is kind of fared okay. I don't think the color of the cake will be this. I want to find some color and just color it a little bit. Is it peachy brown? Just give it some tone, because it's going to have some black ribbons if I want to add that with some details. So yeah, but you will see me kind of finish all of that up here. So stick around with us. Let me see. I am okay. I thought I missed the chat. Okay, let's see who is in the chat with us. Oh, I can't. Okay, let me. Oh, okay. Okay, right. I was missing the chat, but hey. Okay, the cake looks so moist. Oh, Dawn, you don't say. Right. For now, let me just put that in here. We're not. Right, I am not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to leave it, and then we'll be back tomorrow to pick up exactly where we left off, just so that you can have the full experience of seeing what the cake looks like. When it sets completely, I'm going to have to shift it and center it a little bit on the board, because it is off-centered a little bit and it's moving, but I need it centered, because when we pipe the details on the round the cake, we want to make sure that it's all in place so that it's not off-center. So that's something I'm going to do, but whilst it's there, I'm not going to touch it, and that's it, because my evening is actually over. I need to kind of switch back to mum mode, and somebody isn't happy. Okay, so that is just by the way. So I can see there are 52 people in the chat. Hello, 52. Besides all of those who are always here. If you're new in the chat, hello there. If you're meeting me for the first time, I love cake, okay? And all the people who know us in the chat know we love cake too. Some of you just live vicariously about cakes through watching the channel, which is amazing. And some of you actually do make cakes. Tapeta, I see you. Jackie, I see you. Dawn, I see you. Right, so it's great to have you. So if you're new in the chat, show your hand. Tell us where you're joining us from, just so that we can quickly acknowledge you and see where you are coming from, so that we'll know you are friends of the place, okay? Even if you don't stick around, because the lives are sometimes here and there, and they come and they go, right? So it's neither here nor there, but it would be lovely to know you in the chat. So, oh, Gimori is back. Oh, you had fun with us then, honey. You had fun. Birmingham. Oh, Ooh, Birmingham, Alabama. You know what? I looked at Birmingham and I like, okay. When I saw Birmingham, oh, okay. Jay is from India. Okay, okay. Is it Walking Faith? Walking Faith. Ooh, you are walking. And there is Gimora. Gimora was here. Is it Gimori? I keep going Gimora. Gimori was here earlier with us when we went off on one of our tangents. Auntie Jackie. Auntie Jackie, we were out here with the false prophets and the church hurts, and Trump was in the midst. Oh Lord, it was okay. I finished and I ran into my little closet and I'm like, it's the internet. Let me stop talking, okay? Kimori. Oh, Auntie Jackie, we're all out here in the streets. I mean, we are in some very crisis moments, isn't it? As Christians, it is very challenging, and we need the Holy Spirit, and we need guidance, and we need protection in every way, you know. So may the Lord give you grace, okay, Auntie Jackie. But you, Auntie Jackie, and the rest of you actually in the streets, like in there, you're the real MVPs. And we're sending prayers your way because, Gimori is asking, how can I get monetized? Gimori, what are you trying to monetize? Tell me. Genuine question. What are you trying to monetize? Is it a YouTube channel? Is it a skill you have that you are showing on YouTube? Talk me through exactly your idea of what you want to monetize, and I'll give you my very honest opinion. And it will be opinion, because I'm no expert about how to, my channel is not about how to make money on YouTube, because if you've been here, we don't make money out here. We haven't. And I've showed you my numbers before. Go and check the community posts, okay? £75 or £79 every 3 months, which is an average of £21 a month. For the amount of time, value, and information I give on here and shit. Let's be real. But you see, what I value more is that you're here, and making money is a journey, and you've got to enjoy the process. And the money, do I want it? Hell yeah. If my bank account has so many zeros, I don't know you, okay? It. I don't know you. I'll be on some private island somewhere. Also, I think, okay? But in the process of wanting to make the money, you've got to enjoy the process. And the process itself comes with its own challenges and equal blessings. What are the challenges? Oh, I can name a few. What are the blessings? A lot. Like having you here, like having your love, trust, and support, which money cannot buy, like growing in my own skills, i.e. the skills to be able to communicate a particular skill, as in cake making and the science of it are skills and subjects, to be able to take those subjects and skills to bring it to you so you can understand and buy into the belief and the idea that you are empowered enough to be able to go to your home kitchen and make it. It's a skill. And every day I stand here, even if you are not watching me, even if I was talking to an audience of one, that skill is being polished in a few different ways, right? And that's one way, like taking the skill, breaking it down, and teaching you it. And then there's also the skill of communicating, standing on camera, making yours. I mean, am I a personality? Not necessarily, but my personality shows through. I hope I'm a little bit fun, a little bit over the place sometimes, a little bit disorganized, but intentional about that too. Because if I came in here and everything was chaotic, like my ADHD infested brain, you will probably go, what the hell is happening? You'll be God, okay? And all of these things I'm naming are blessings in themselves, because when YouTube goes away, like when YouTube decided to mess with me and I took the channel membership down, I was done with that stuff. Was I ready to walk? No. And even if YouTube goes away, what will be the thing that will live with me? That I grew my skill, that I could stand before an audience and communicate something I believe in, that I feel strongly about, that I am very knowledgeable about, that I can take it and then repackage it in written form, because I script my videos and I have to study the subject. So whether you're here watching me or not, I am growing in different ways, right? So whether YouTube is paying me, it's not paying me, I am being paid in so many immaterial ways. And ultimately, if I take the journey as it comes and I'm diligent, truthful, honest, and I continue to plead diligently by offering you value, in return you give me your support, trust my integrity and my skill, the money will come. But are you willing to invest maybe more than 5 years of a life for the hopes of something that will probably never come, or something that will change in the course? You tell me. And there lies your answer. Oh, Gimori is saying, oh, okay, I am not trying to make money like the screwdriver next to my name. Well, I can't see the screwdriver, can I? Ooh, somebody lost a parcel. Ooh, this is annoying. This is annoying. This must be so annoying. Oh, people. But Gimori, oh, okay. Oh, Gimori, that is not monetized. That is you becoming a moderator. Oh, becoming a moderator of the channel. You know what? There is really no, you don't have to fall. There is, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, my brain is frozen. Okay, so you want to become a moderator. Gimori, you only showed up today, honey. You only showed up today. Well, the standard here, we don't require anything for becoming a moderator, except the moderators are not just moderators for just the blue tick. The moderators are here consistently, and they understand that even though we don't have a written contract or agreement, it's a sacrifice of your time to moderate the channel and to be able to keep people engaged in the chat. And I have to trust you to know that you understand my values to do that. So anyone who has the blue, obviously I add more over time. It's not something I sit and think about this particular person, but as long as you show up consistently, you are engaging in the chat, and you have friends, you are friends naturally with the other moderators, because you're not just a moderator for being a moderator's sake. Being a moderator means you innately understand our values of the community, and you are able to kind of identify with it and act accordingly. So if I come here, I don't kind of send out a task list to anybody to do A, B, C, or D. But as you can see, Dawn is in the chat trying to get everybody to kind of like the videos, and she's been doing that on subsequent lives and stuff like that. And all the moderators do that, and you talk with each other. And when I'm busy or task focused, the moderators make sure that the chats are engaged and keep you informed of other things and value. But most importantly, they're just consistent people who show up day in and day out. I'm not paying for that service, and I feel incredibly blessed. So simple answer, Gimori, if you want to be a moderator, just stick around and prove yourself, and one day you'll wake up and hey, there'll be a blue tick. That's all. Dolly is back. Dolly. Dolly's been out there. Dolly, how are you? Happy Friday. Let's see. Let's have a look at, let's go have a quick look at our cake. Okay. Ooh, the cake has set. Look, the buttercream, except for the white color, of course. Not bad. I am kind of excited about this. Gimori, it's okay. Gimori, you'll find out. We don't mind that you ask questions. Just ask the question and we'll answer you. So yeah, my people, it's happy Friday. What are you doing on Friday? Because I'll tell you what my Friday is. As soon as I log off, hopefully I have time to post to post something in the community post, right? And then I have to settle for the evening and check and make sure this guy is good. And that will run till about 9, half 9. And I have to come back and tidy all of this and reset, because it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, because them 5 cakes with the bento and the 3 dozen cupcakes work starts tomorrow. Okay, so it's going to be a long weekend. What's your Friday like? What are you doing? Are you doing happy? What are your Friday traditions? Who is working? Hand in the chat. Oh, Dolly came back from work. Dolly, I bet you have a cake waiting for you. Which buttercream did I use today? American buttercream. But it wasn't a 1:2. It wasn't a 1:1. I think it's a 1 to 1.5. Is it? I'll get the correct information for you. The ratio. We had 750. Oh, it's not 1.5. It's 1 to, is it 1.75? Because it's 750 grams of butter to a kilo of icing. Who can work that ratio out for me? Look, I'm no mathematician. I'm just a bake. Okay? It's American buttercream. Oh, okay, Gimori, it's 6:30. And you're going to relax and watch you tomorrow. Oh, okay, great, friend. School, okay, friend, better study that book. Okay, auntie out here, chop chop chop. We have a lot of fun here, but boy, you better get on it. Otherwise the African auntie will show up with I think that's illegal now. Oh, Dolly, have you got a cake? Just came back. Yeah, we so answering Auntie Jackie's question, we have American buttercream that we are using. I'm going to have to tint this a little bit, and then we're doing some piping details on the cake. It's a simple birthday cake. Well, so for Dolly and Auntie Jackie, who haven't been here for a few lives, I think Auntie Jackie caught up on the last one anyway, but Tabitha lost her pet. That has left her heartbroken a bit. And sometimes, well, I guess if you lose a pet, you're going to feel sad, but sadness is not linear. So some days it's okay, some days it's really like, so let's keep her in our thoughts and send her lots of hugs. It's very raw and very fresh in her memory, because I think that happened about a week ago or so, her little pet. And a pet is more than a pet, I hesitate to add. And well, Dawn hasn't been great because she caught the flu. Is it Victorian influenza? Okay, Lollipop, you have to get Lollipop, I have questions. No, I'm kidding. Lollipop, all my love. I'll see you soon. Take care. All right. Lollipop, if you see a message that says, "What are you doing?" don't answer. It's gone. It's an inside joke. Don't answer. Lollipop, what are you doing? I've got tears in my eyes again over nonsense. Oh God. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up in the chat, but yeah. Dolly, I was asking if you have a cake on the table yet. Are you working on a cake for the weekend? Oh, yeah. Dawn has got the flu. It's, look, when the flu has your chest feeling like all your organs are falling through. Dawn, I'm not trying to start it. I've told you, it's not me. It's just that the subject kind of triggers a whole conversation in my mind. And I'm side-eyeing myself like, girl. I made my last cake and I'm... Oh, no! Auntie Jackie. Not even for family and friends. What was the experience? Talk us through it. We're curious people. You know, we love to know stuff. What does it feel like when you are standing in the kitchen? And I presume baking is just not baking for baking's sake. There is a sense of joy that you derive from it, especially depending on what your objective is. So on that note, when you stood in the same place that you did this thing over and over and feel so excited about, when you finally get into the kitchen on this day and you think, it's the last day I'm doing this, what does that feel like? Dolly says, Auntie Gladys, I have a question, but not what you're doing today. How do I get my red velvet cake? I can answer that for you. Dolly is asking a question. Oh, okay. Right. So Auntie Jackie is saying not right away. So you're not giving it all up right away, is it? Right. That's comforting, because then it's like we still have a faithful. Not that retiring from baking makes you unfaithful to bakers, but there's clearly an experience of if you're right in it and if you've kind of stepped away from it. I guess that kind of makes sense. But Dolly is asking, how do I get my red velvet cake to look very red? Honey, here's a question for you, Dolly. What recipe are you using? What method are you using to derive the cake? And why is it not red? Because if I understand the recipe you're using, because you would think that for a red velvet cake, depending on whatever you're doing, you just add red color, right? Not that a red velvet just depends on the color. But my thing is, a red velvet cake, it has to have red color in it, right? So how you can, I can't just answer it by saying, oh, add more red to it, because perhaps you're doing that already. Or could it be that you're limiting the amount? I don't know, which is why I'm asking. What, even if you can't tell me the exact red ingredients, talk me through what process. You've seen me make red velvet cake on this channel, and I have made it using the creamy method, you add your ingredients and then you add your red and you're done. So what are you doing? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I need that context to be able to advise you. Oh, so Auntie Jackie is really well and truly done. It was bittersweet when she baked her last cake. All the faithfuls in the chat, put some love heart emojis in the chat for Auntie Jackie and add Auntie Jackie in there. Because, oh God, she said, let me read that again. It was bittersweet, but I've made up my mind to let it go and I'm done. Oh, well, friend and Auntie Jackie to the channel. Sending you hugs. Maybe you'll find a good reason to kind of wake up one morning and like, not go back to it, because if you're done, you're done. But if you woke up and thought, I want to make myself a muffin, you know, the skill always comes in handy. It's like driving. Like, I'm not driving myself, but the chance comes, you jump in a car and then you go, right? So, I don't know if I have to say congratulations for coming to the end of it. What do we say? Well done, you. Well done. I'm sure those who enjoyed the bakes and you baking with heart and giving them away was something to be expected and appreciated. So rest up and good luck. That's all. Right. Dolly says, I've used yours and still get a wine color. I've also tried different recipes on, but still, okay. Okay, so let's talk. If you've used mine and you're getting wine color, what brand of red food coloring are you using? What brand? If you can just name the brand. Because if you've used mine, you've watched me do it here. You've seen my ingredient listing. You've seen the type of red I'm using. So if you end up with a wine color using my recipe, my only noted thing here will be, are you limiting the amount of red you are using? Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you follow the exact thing that I do here, are you limiting the quantity of red? Because if you are, there is a reason for it, and you know I would know and understand that. But what brand of color are you using? Sugar Flare. So why is it wine? Are you using are you limiting the amount of red you are using? Like, how much red coloring do you use? Do you just use a small bit? Because there is an unspoken. If you've looked at my recipes for red velvet, here's the unspoken bits that bakers don't say out loud, but I'm going to tell you, okay? It is that there are guidelines for how much you can use per quantity. So as a tutor and cake educator, the amount of red that you need to get the very red color will exceed the recommendation. Now, there are bakers who are very particular and will stick to the rule book. The recommendations are there for a reason. And the reason is that the coloring codes has to adhere to a certain amount so that the associated risks of the coloring, as in the ingredient that derives the red color, is not impactful. Does that make sense? So I am not going to advise you that disregard the guidelines. So here's something I probably haven't said out, but if you've watched all my red velvet cake videos, I never mentioned the amount of food coloring. And that's deliberate, because the amount you need technically to get the red exceeds the guidelines, but you do it anyway because it's not going to kill the customer, and it's not something that is going to yield you like this scarily adverse results. However, there's also a responsibility to not disregard the rules openly. So if you look at your food labeling, as in Pro-Gel, for instance, does it say oh, they've changed it now? I haven't looked in a long time. There was a time where the Pro-Gel, say the red, will tell you, it will tell you something, a gram to about a kilo for the quantity. And I used to be in a caking group that used to literally get it up in arms about that. That if the moment you say you have a red velvet cake and the color is red, you will have people in the chat literally bullying you about the fact that your cake is red means that you've exceeded the coloring recommendation, and it was really awful. So I stopped sharing that openly. So if you've used my recipe, which you have seen me repeat here time and again over here, and you are getting a wine color, it just means you're not using enough red. That's my simple thought about it. If you've used other ones and you're using sugar flare, this is the color you've seen me use. It's a paste color. It's very concentrated. A spoonful for the quantity I make here, a spoonful and a half, but you've seen me literally kind of scoop a little bit with the butter knife and dip it in there. You can go back to my videos and see. So at least for my own, I can comment confidently on my own recipe that if only you follow the recommendation and the process you've seen me derive, then use more color if that's what you need. But otherwise, I have nothing else to say about it because you've actually seen me do the thing here. What did I miss? Okay. So the last time, Dolly, you said you've used different recipes, and I have kind of explained that. So let's see. Sugar flame Pro-Gel. Okay. No, I don't want to try again tomorrow. What do you mean? Maybe I missed something. But we are still on the subject of Auntie Jackie hanging up her apron. Auntie Jackie, this is where I'm bummed out that you're so far away from me. Because if you were somewhere around the UK where I could put a box of cake in the post for you, that would be just lovely to say, friend, put your feet up and rest up from baking. 19 years is a long time. But you're in the US. It will take forever to get to you, and it will be ruined by the time it gets to you if them custom people don't intercept it and throw it in the bin. So I'm just sending you hearty prayers and love and say rest up, put your feet up, and thank you for your service to bacon. So Gimori is asking, how good, oh God, how is it a red velvet cake when you can't even make it look red enough? You know what? The rules are the rules. That's all I can say. Okay. Dawn, oh God, oh my word, does it really matter if you get them? Dawn, I've learned a lot of things on the internet. The way people get passionate, you know what? I've said this before, that we all don't understand the same things the same, you know? We all don't. And I feel so privileged and blessed. When I tell you, Dawn and the rest of all of you, when I tell you that I feel grateful that I found my people, you guys those of you who stick around, and we love each other, we kind of understand each other in a way that is like an unspoken rule. And that is not the norm on the internet, because there are all sorts of people on the internet, okay? And so I say that to say, whilst I could still come and give you the information about my red velvet, The bullying I saw in the caking group, I left the group because you will have someone in the, and sometimes I used to think, are these people okay in the chat, like bullying someone for something, the result of adding and exceeding like 2 grams instead of the recommended 1 gram, it's not going to kill anybody. It makes a colorful cake. At best, you can inform the customer that for the amount of red, I will have to exceed the recommendation, but it's not poisonous. It will not harm you. At best, that's what you can do as a baker to your customer if you care and they care. But people were in the chat. It's like, if you're not going to follow the rules, then maybe we should get in touch with it's the agency in charge of food thing. The name is kind of, you know what I'm saying? And I used to kind of look at the chat and I'm like, oh boy. I posted my red velvet recipe once just to help somebody who wanted it. And I stopped. I'm like, I am not doing this with nobody on the internet. So we all don't understand the same things the same way. And that's okay. But I'm so pleased that you guys get it. That's all. Oh, Auntie Jackie! Bake a cake live and dedicate it to me. I mean, okay, I am writing on this one. The next 5 days is really mad because I woke up and boom, I have a corporate order. So let's get it out of the way. It goes out on the 14th, okay? So this weekend, let's get it out of the way and let's make a date next Friday, God willing. But check the community post. So Auntie Jackie, perhaps find the cake on the internet. That is doable. Send it to me. That will be my inspiration. And then we can come and recreate that cake in a sizable form. And we'll celebrate you and we'll cut it and we'll eat it. And maybe, just maybe, I don't want to over egg this because I get overwhelmed after a long baking session. And the next 5 days, I'm kind of like looking on my, like, girl. So this is what we can do. If we get it done, I might consider, what do I want to do with it? Worst case scenario, we get it done here. We cut it. I eat some and I give the rest to my neighbors. Best case scenario, we can send a small sample off to some of you if we can nominate somebody. So let's see if we can make a game out of it. It's a way of giving back. 2026 is here. Let's have fun with cake. So Auntie Jackie, I'm in. We're baking a cake for Auntie Jackie. Auntie Jackie's baking retirement cake. Yay! Okay? So I'm in. If you're in it, let's show your hands. Show by hands. Right. Dolly is back. Dolly is asking a question. Oh, God. Okay. So, right. Dolly is asking a question here. Dolly, I'll answer you in a minute. Let me see. I'm just trying to catch up on what I missed. Yeah, Auntie Jackie has said the rule of thumb, if you were telling me that you weren't deriving the color because you're using natural color, that's a whole different conversation. That's a subject about science and understanding acidity and alkaline. Okay, so that's a whole different conversation. But if you have tried my recipe, the same recipe you've watched me make here, and you come back and like, it's not red, please add more red. That's all. And okay, so you know, we don't just give you the word, we tell you. So I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was using the red. This is how much red. And if you go back to the videos, I use a bread knife, so please pick a butter knife, this one. Yeah, this is how much red for the quantity you've seen me make here, which is on top of my head. It's about 485 grams of butter or margarine, 640 grams of sugar. You can that's a full recipe and a half, but what you've seen me largely do. So yeah, what you've seen me largely do, which is my most recent cakes, is 485 grams of margarine, 640 grams of sugar, about, I think 300, is it 310 grams, is it 310 grams of eggs? At least start with the 495 grams of margarine. If you see that recipe in the chat, that's, I'm just making a demonstration of how much color you need. This is about how much color you need. And we're using Sugar Flare, the extra reds. That. This will be about, because I want to eliminate the doubt for you, okay? I want to get rid of the doubt. Told you, we are not perfect here. Okay. Okay, so just so that we can get rid of the doubt and solve Dolly's question, that's 20 grams. That's all. For something that says 5 grams, I am using 4 times. That's all. Dolly, you need 15 to 20 grams. Don't tell them I told you. That's all. Okay, right. Dolly is asking a question. I think I saw a question, which is better, butter, oil, or something. Butter. Which is better, butter or oil? It depends on why you're asking the question and what your intention is. Generally, I'll tell you one is not better than the other. You have to look at the functions in a recipe and what your objectives are. So the generalized functions of oil in baking is it adds moisture, it tenderizes. The properties of oil are such that it will enhance a light and delicate texture in a cake because it doesn't set at room temperature. Now flip to the downsides of that is oil is very bland. So besides the positive properties that it brings to cakes for you, it has downsides. It is bland and sometimes can seep through your recipe if you don't know how to use it in your recipe. That is if you're recipe testing, right? So if you don't know how to balance the quantity of oil to the other quantities, which is a ratio of ingredients, you end up with excess oil, and oil is not very flavorful compared to butter. But it depends on context and what type of oil you're using. If you're using your regular canola or sunflower oil, those are what you call flavorless oil. But say if you wanted to replace the quantity of oil with, say, avocado oil or strongly flavored oils, then you are kind of employing a different kind of flavor into your cake. So for instance, when I tried Meghan Markle's olive oil and honey cake, I didn't like the flavor of my olive oil, right? But if I swapped the olive oil for, say, flavorless sunflower oil, I probably wouldn't have also liked the texture of it or the feel of the cake. And then you have the different types of oils and how they behave, whether at room temperature or when they set. For instance, coconut oil. Okay, so it's a whole separate conversation, but at least at the end of this conversation, you've understood what the properties of oils are in baking, which is the pros and then the cons of that. Now comparing oil to butter sets at room temperature, so it has a different sort of effect on the outcome of your crumb quality and integrity. But quality and integrity are all subjective, because what's crumb quality here for you? If you're looking for a very delicate, soft textured cake that has a melt in the mouthfeel, then butter may not be your friend over here, because what? Butter was set at room temperature, and depending on the... My brain is racing, right? Because the use of oil or butter here in baking is not set on a linear scale. It also, the answers for your outcome depends on your process for deriving the butter. So the way oil will behave in, say, a one pot recipe, which is what oil normally is, because you will never be able to use oil for deriving a cake via mixed creamy method. But I'll take that back, because if you're mixing oil with butter, then you can employ oil in the creamy method, but with some sort of limitation over there. So whilst I give you the generalized properties of oil and how it affects your outcomes better and how it can have downsides, it is also set in the context of process. How are you using the oil? Are you using it partly to support a creaming process where it's an additional accompaniment to a solid fat like margarine or oil? Or are you using it in a reverse creaming method where it tenderizes the gluten and interferes with the formation? It's a whole science. So you see why I did not engage in these conversations on the internet streets, even when the good thing is that on a live you can ask me that question, that we can geek out on all of this, right? Which is what I am doing. But if you found me on a short video and it's like, what's your recipe and should I use butter? I can't break down all these concepts in a text form, and it's like a whole lecture. So Dolly, the simple answer is one is not better than the other. You employ what you need to support your objective, right? So if you want a cake that is steady in structure and has flavor, and you are using the creaming method, and you just want your texture to be very rich and steady, and you don't mind how tense and solid your crumb will be, go for butter. Sometimes in the summer too, because butter will still set at room temperature. Your cake will remain solid, if you like, for longer. But if you want a delicate melt in the mouth feel, go for oil. But whilst I've made these simple recommendations, what process are you using to derive your cakes? Because when you're making a chocolate cake with oil, your outcome is going to be considerably different from when you're making a vanilla cake with oil. Because the vanilla cake, after it's been made with oil, can almost feel very crumbly, even though oil is supposed to enhance texture for you. So my simple answer here is butter or oil, one is not better than the other. They all have stronger properties associated with each, and you can employ each one to support your own baking goals and objectives. Has that answered your question better? Let me know. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn, you literally, a recipe is not set in stone. So whilst I stand here and I teach and I give away my recipes, the reason why I do that is because I have an unhealthy obsession about what a cake should feel and taste like for me. And so even if I give you all my recipes, it will still have to take an amount of obsession and passion to kind of recreate. But at least if I hand you my recipe, I hope that you are getting a great result from it. Do you know what I mean? But I really, as a baker who enjoys the process of what a cake should look like, I wouldn't say I feel uncomfortable or I don't like it. It won't serve you if you're just asking me for a recipe. It won't serve me. I can give you the numbers, but what are you going to do with that? I have to give you the process. I have to give you the intention. I have to explain the recipe, ingredients, and how they interact. And then I hammer in the best tips. And then you go make a cake, which is what these lives do. Okay? So, Dolly, I hope I have answered your question for you. God Tabitha, the mixer exchange was a year ago, okay? I am just so much like, I am so, you know what I'm saying? The video you were seeing about the mixer, that was like, those are videos in my drafts that I edited and left to sit because I'm playing catch up. But the mixer, this is the mixer. It's not your fault you didn't know. It's because the video didn't make clear this was a year ago. And because the video was edited a year ago in the hopes that it will be put out. And then I got distracted with everything else and the video never came out. And now that I don't have current videos sitting in my inbox and hard drive, I have to go back and pull some of the videos I left on the wayside. Okay? So we're playing catch up, people. We're playing catch up, so don't worry. Yeah, but the mixer is here. I think Dolly was asking about it, and I think it was Dolly who asked about it, and it kind of brought me back. Oh, I have some videos, and I went and I got them out. That's all. So yeah. Tabitha asking how is swimming going. Did I tell you I was learning to swim? Well, the honest answer is, you will know I can swim when I'm swimming, okay? I think the little boy is frustrated. Let me just go and tend to him. I'll be back in a minute. Sir? Sir?
Why won't you load already?
Okay. This is your last one because we need to go to Milton, okay?
You're only saying that because I got angry every time this happens.
No, it's because we have to, all right? But you have it. You go finish that one. Okay, my people. Where is Dolly? I was just trying to make sure that, so a few things, just a quick recap of my people. If you're just joining us, hey, thank you for being here. If you're new in the chat, put your hand up. Let's see you so that we can say hi. Okay. Right. So I'm kind of distracted by the mixer, the swimming, and everything else in between. And of course, the little guy who is very happy right now. But yeah. The recap is we were here to, if you're just joining us, this cake right here was a round cake, and somehow we managed to get it to look like an oval looking cake, which is great. Okay, Dolly, right. So did you hear my answer I gave you about the oil and butter? Did you? Because I just want, first of all, did you see when I showed you how much color you need for your red velvet? Don't tell anybody. Okay, so I told you this wasn't scented. Did I say this wasn't scented? Maybe it's in my head because it looks all right, is it? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, so yeah. Let's see how much time we have here. We have almost a time. Okay, yeah. It's actually scented, so it's in my head. It's because I was looking at it from this direction, which is the wider point, but the smaller point is fine, so we're not going to have to move it. So yeah, Dolly, you saw the color, and did you got the answer on the oil and the butter? So my point is, it's neither here nor there. No recipe is very like, don't put in the chat, no two recipes are the same, and the ingredients that are used for recipes, depending on your knowledge of how ingredients interact, you may be able to make swaps and changes. So this is a question. Look, Dolly, here is a compliment for you. I see you are a very passionate baker, okay? I know that because I've interacted with you. I think you caught the Ghanaian bag that doesn't do sugar, okay? And you are like, you've zeroed in on trying to get the taste and your cakes right, which is a good thing. here's some very humble advice I will give you. If you want to grow your business as I know you would, here's the lesson. It's been done before, okay? Unless you are following the process for your own journey and growth, because my obsession for the cakes and how they turn out, it's not for the customer. The result is that the customer gets a great cake. But I just love the science of baking. So I do it anyway. And if these cameras weren't here, for the amount of time you see me here, it's not for the cameras, it's because I'm doing the thing. So this is a bit of unsolicited advice because I love you. If you were sitting in a consultation with me, here are the pointers I'm looking at. I think you're a very passionate baker. I think you love cake. I see you want to do things your way, how you like it. So you are almost a little bit of me in a good way, that you cannot avoid the temptation of wanting to change the thing in the recipe so that you can challenge yourself and see that you did it before, you've done it. And here's something I'll tell you. Baking is long. The journey from transitioning from a passion and a hobby to a business is a long, winding journey of failures and fall downs and wakes up. And I'm not saying this to discourage you, but I am also telling you what is true for me. And I hope you can see what you want to take from what I'm telling you right now. Okay? You're a mom. You're a wife, you have children, okay? These are all commitments that if you took away one after the other, they are things that you are already pouring yourself out of. Being a mom to 2 boys, being a good wife, and a person, a wholesome member of a family, those are not jokes. If all you ever did in this life is be a mom, that is enough on its own. But here you are juggling that, being a wife, being a full-time worker. And I'd like to think you were great at what you do at your job. And then you were here doing cakes. I say all that to say, you know what? Unless you are like hung on the details for your own self, nothing, even what I'm doing here and what I'm teaching you has been done before. I'll tell you for a fact. The people who have laid the groundwork for me are the people I have spoken openly about here. And I don't know these people. Claire Saffitz, Erin Jean McDowell, Preppy Kitchen, joyofbaking.com. These 4 people, they have... Claire Saffitz holds... a science degree from, if it's not Harvard, it's the other one of these Ivy League schools, right? But when you see her in the kitchen, she looks like your regular baker, but she is like science, a walk-in science, if you like. There is, I think, Joanna Chung or somebody. They do all of this. So my point is that find a trusted baker or somebody you can trust their process and take what they've already done and move on. That's all. There's Prince doing stuff from Canada. Hey, Prince. People, yeah, so lovely. That's all I'm saying, because especially as a business, you have to nail down one recipe so that you can maintain consistency of taste for your customer, you know. So the temptation to kind of play with things and do things will not serve you because unless you are like tailoring your cakes to each customer, but that will also limit scale. I've experienced that, and I'm having to reconsider my own journey. I'm telling you. So, Dolly, good luck, but try the recipe and let me know if you increase the color. But about the oil and butter, like I said, one is not better than the other. It depends on the recipe, it depends on the process, it depends on your own goals and objectives. But otherwise, darling, always a pleasure when we talk about cakes, because it almost lets me see where your heart is, and I am just excited to see where this whole journey takes you. All the best. My people. Whew. I literally came so we can turn this cake around, and here we are, all of us. Let me go and see this little guy and turn the kitchen around and tidy. Keep an eye on the community post for what time we will get this cake decorated for tomorrow, because it's actually due out tomorrow, right? So it is likely to be late morning so that it can be delivered sometime in the afternoon. So I will update you in the community post. But whatever we are doing here, my people, come back and catch up later. But yeah, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Happy baking.